This episode is brought to you by Pulsar.
When we talk about social situation or political situation, we're always talking about giving equal rights to everyone, making everyone equal, all humans are equal, we all should be equal, men and women should be equal. We're talking about equality, and such social situation and political. But come on, we're not born equal. Whoever has made us, whether you call it God, your parents, or nature, whatever you believe in, whoever has created us has created us very, very unequally. You know, some of us have been created very strong. Some of us have been created with a lot of, sportive talent. Some of us have been created by a lot of, creative talent.
Yeah.
Some of us are good in science, the others are good in literature, some of us are good in political things, the other are good in just sitting and basically just watching the moon and ruminating and running their imagination wild.
Sure.
So we got to understand that, we are created so unequally. Just siblings born out of the same parents are born
Completely different.
Completely different. They can be physically different. They can be mentally different. They can have different taste. So nobody sets the bar. Everybody has to find their own path.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but what do we intend to do? Right from there, we intend to compare. And our parents also don't, encourage that attitude by saying, oh, look at your brother. He's doing this and you're not doing this. And this and that is something, the standard that, wisely or unwisely, the society has created or the system has created. But what we got to understand is that standard by itself is not the standard that you should evaluate people.
True.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree with you on this.
Like, for example, when I wanted to get in art, in the artistic field, my parents says, why you want to pursue a career in films or in an artistic field? I mean, you should be like your cousin or like your sibling who's into medicine or who's into engineering or who's into, law or politics. And if I had sort of wasted time and my energy by saying, why am I not having interest like my cousin or this? Why is my interest so different, Or why am I want to pursue something, at least in Nepal, which has not been sort of, has not been proven successful or does not really have a field which a young person can pursue a career in long term. Why am I having interest in such field, If I had thought in those terms and did not rely on my own self-confidence, my own passion, and my own interest, I probably would have been neither here nor there. I would have said, okay, my parents want to they want me to be an engineer. Okay, I would probably go and pursue engineering, but I probably would not be number one engineer because that's not where my passion lies.
True.
And that's because someone has told me that this is the standard that you should follow, comparing again. So, but if you are if you're confident in the interest that you have, and then you have this tremendous passion that you want to do, I think young people also should follow that, even if there is no precedent in front of you or there's no example set by anyone, and ultimately you probably have to prove yourself and be an example yourself if you take it to a successful point. So, this is what happens in the society. In every step, there's this, consciously or subconsciously, there's always comparing this with that. And people grow up by saying that, oh, why am I not the athletic kind? Or why am I not the creative kind? Or why don't have this body size? Or why I don't have this kind of nose or this kind of eyes? Or, and especially with the social networking these days, you think, like, am I not as pretty or am I not as good as the other one just because someone says this one is the one which is pretty. So this is all confusing. So my take is like that, which is not easy to live by. It is not easy to live by, but luckily I've been able to follow this philosophy. But it's not easy. It's not as easy as I'm saying it now when it comes to practical life. When you have peer pressures, when you have parents' pressure, when you have societal pressure, because after all, people have to live in a society.
True.
And society dictates in a certain way, and which can be against the current of your own thinking and on this. And so one feels pressurized,
Always.
Always, right? Because your parents have expectations, societies have expectations. And what are expectations? Expectations is just something that society has brainwashed other people by saying that this is how it should be. This is, if you do this, then only you are a successful, good person. If you behave in this way, or if you wear these sort of clothes, then only you are the in person. If you don't wear this in this manner, you're,
outcast.
You're outcasted. You're this.
Yeah.
But what's a fashion? Fashion is something that you want to probably create yourself according to your own taste, your body, your comfort, the way you feel good, right? Why do you want to be dictated by some commercial entity or some commercial, advertising that tells you to do this? And just because you're perfectly happy with this shirt and someone comes and tells you, oh, this was 6 months ago fashion. Now you got to wear a different kind of shirt. And then even though you're feeling so comfortable and nice and you really love this shirt, you said, maybe I'm doing something wrong.
And then you go ahead and you have to buy the other one.
So this has to, people have to live by their own standard, create their own standard, create their own bar,
Always.
Go by your taste. Don't listen to too many noise from the outside. Listen to your inner voice, your inner noise, Now with the technology, like what we are doing with the technology, we're just bombarding ourselves with information from outside. We're listening to too many people. We're not even listening to one truth. We're listening to several truths, too many truths,
And you don't know if some are true or some are fake.
And you don't know which one is the real truth,
Yeah, you never know.
Because there are so many truths. And every version, every opinion, or every so-called truth has their own fan following, have their own backings. So it can be quite confusing. I mean, for young people growing up with this kind of technology and this kind of information age. So my take is, especially when you're young, you listen to your own voice as well, and understand your own taste, your own passion.
No doubt.
On yourself, and go and abide by that. Try to make yourself happy without trying to live up to other people's expectations and other people's this. Yes, of course. I mean, you have to make a living. Yes. Money is important, because money buys food and you can't live without food.
Money buys the same shirt that you want after 6 months.
Yeah, money buys the shirt. Money buys everything, I mean, you can't go without shirt. You can't go without food. You can't go. All that is very, very important. But then again, just also realize that each one of us are very unique by ourselves, and our standard can be truly our own standard. And we can sort of live by it. We should be proud of our own taste, own style. I mean, if you feel that, okay, passionately, innately, you feel that, okay, I like to follow the fashion, then please go ahead and follow it. That is
what you want.
If you have not been, if that's what you want, if you haven't been brainwashed to do that or pressurized to do that, by all means do it. I'm not against that. But make sure that you are making your own decision in life, and the decision is coming purely organically from you.
True, 100%.
This episode is brought to you by Pulsar.